Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out to Cloud 9.5. Today's episode is all about food. It's a Thanksgiving Day episode, and as you can tell, today I've got a new background. Today I'm moving. Well, this month I'm moving. So everything is in shambles right now. So everything is in boxes and packed away. And I decided I was going to start getting ready for the show. And then I've got that spot that I did the last few times where it's got the picture behind me. It's the city picture. It looks pretty cool. And so my wife noticed that, and she's like, "Oh, I want that spot." And I was like, and she said, "Nope." So here I am. So we're going to move right into what's new from my new location. I did a little bit of that out of order. I was supposed to announce that we were there. So, anyhow, this week in What's New, we will pause for a moment to honor one of my favorite comedians, Leo Gallagher, who passed away at the age of 76. This was one of the first comedians I remember watching as a child. I grew up in the 80s with the Technicolor. Actually, it was a whole lot of brown paneling, beer, and cigarette smoke. He had a stand-up routine that would always end up with him smashing a watermelon with the Sledge-O-Matic. He would smash that watermelon and it would spray out all over the crowd. He would bring tarps to the show to keep them dry. They started bringing the tarps after the first few shows. They learned these people just got covered. They got covered in watermelon and had no warning. At least after the people knew what to expect. So now he's performing his first show at heaven, and like here on earth, they are completely unaware. Angels are walking out there in the grand heavenly hall, covered in watermelon. They'll learn like we did. Next show, they'll have a tarp. This week, America voted. America voted. Please check back with us next month to see who won. It was a long predicted red wave that was supposed to happen this election. Trump was going to change the tide by endorsing several GOP candidates, including Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis, who's also running against Trump for the 2024 presidential race. Well, the red wave was more of like a pink splash or like a pink sprinkle. When you finish pumping gas and the little drop still comes out and you get it on your hands and you can smell it for the rest of the day. It was like a red one of those. The election cycle did not turn out the way they expected. In fact, all the candidates Trump endorsed did horribly, except for Ron DeSantis, who killed it. He absolutely crushed it in Florida. Trump made a comment calling him Ron DeSanctimonious. We're still unsure if he was trying to make fun of Ron DeSantis or if he just couldn't pronounce his name. Ron DeSanctimonious. Probably just trying to read it. Anyhow, so this week in What's Up, we've got some big news. Artemis 1 has finally launched. We have finally launched the first of many launches to the moon. Yeah. Those are beautiful. I love looking at those. I can watch them all day long. So this one was unmanned. There are no people on this flight. It's also undogged. No dogs will be on this trip. This will also be unmoused, which is more relevant than ever once we get closer to all that green sheet. Okay, that was what's up. Now we're going to have a word from our sponsor. Make sure you check out Orchid Times on Wednesday. It's a very awesome show. There's two very talented individuals running that. So this is the Thanksgiving food episode. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my food. I've got some pumpkin pie. I love me some pumpkin pie. I got to try it. Mm-hmm. And usually, got it? So, anyhow, we're gonna talk to Bob Ross now. We've got some clips from him. How's it going, Bob?
Good. That's awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching the liftoff, and I do remember the moonshots and the landings, and so it's really I'm glad we're back to it.
Yeah, 50 years later, it's about time.
Yeah. So I'm cooking for you guys today, and what I'm going to start with, I'm going to tell you, I baked a venison tenderloin, and this was the marinade, and this is basically olive oil and a mix of herbs to the left of the olive oil. Out in front, I have diced ginger and garlic. So I mix all these together, and basically once I've got that mixed, I take the meat, and before I put the meat in this dish that I'm marinating in, I'm putting some of this mix on the bottom too, so it gets absorbed on the top and the bottom, and try to rub some on the sides. So here we have the vegetables on the right that go with the when I'm baking the tenderloin. I'll wrap it around. You'll see pictures of that in a little bit. And on the left is a premix of my grandmother's squash casserole in spirit. Anyway, I've changed it a little bit, but it's just basically yellow squash and onions right here with some herbs, and just lightly sauteed, not cooked, overcooked. And then I take those ingredients. So what we have here are the ingredients of another dish that I'm making, which is a sweet potato casserole. And it's very small. It's actually more like dessert. So you'll see that as well as we move on. All right, so this is the sweet potato casserole. And it's actually, it's what I've used here is mixed nuts and some gluten-free flour to make a bottom crust. And then on top, I just dispersed it on the top. So the sweet potatoes are really basic. It's cinnamon, less than a tablespoon of brown sugar for this entire dish, because the sweet potato in itself is sweet. And then, and also a couple of eggs, actually just one egg for this one. Yes.
That looks delicious.
Yeah. So this is.
God.
All right. So this is the tenderloin seared, and then I put the vegetables on. This is prior to it going into the oven. So the meat's really not cooked here. It's just seared a little bit on the outside. And again, the vegetables, I lightly boiled those with a minimal amount of water, so I didn't have to strain and lose anything from the vegetables. So I put them both in the pan and put them in the oven.
That is delicious looking.
Okay, this is the squash casserole, and it's not quite done yet. I just pulled it out to check, but I thought I'd take a picture of it. So this will be, yep, there we go. So, all right, so I'm going to sit down now to this meal, and I'm going to go ahead and serve myself. Let me get it. We had this set, but then I think I tripped on it like an idiot. All right, so there, I think we see everything. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do here is just serve my dish, and I'm going to start with some of the vegetables. Excuse me. I'm starving, by the way. I had to cook without eating any of it, and I'm just like, never mind about serving. So I'm going to pre-slice some of the tenderloin, and I'm just going to take some of these vegetables, which I do as much organic as I possibly can. All of these vegetables are organic with the celery. Okay, and then here's the casserole. Oop. I'm nervous. Actually, I'm just shaking because I'm starving. Okay, a good casserole should hold together pretty good. Did okay. And over here we have my sweet potato casserole, and it's in a tiny little dish. So there's, oops, oh no, I spilled some precious bits. Oh, oops. Okay, oh, just perfect. And then I have the only ingredient in this entire dish that's not native to the North and South American continent is asparagus, and this is a Mediterranean. But I'm thinking, you know what? I'm grateful for Mediterranean people too.
Absolutely.
So a tribute to Thanksgiving, and that's it. When you guys are going to let me go. Now, I didn't know if you wanted me to tell you the little story if I have time.
Can we wait until the interview portion?
Of course, then I'll be with a full belly.
Awesome. Yeah. I'll bring you back here in about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll talk about that.
Okay. Well, I won't. Okay. Sounds good. I'll be here. Thank you.
We'll keep you backstage in the green room. So now we're going to bring on Chef Louie. Hey, Chef Louie, I can't hear you.
Sorry, got my mic muted. See.
There you go.
So anyway, what I said was, hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm Chef Louie, and I'm nice to meet you there, Mr. J.
So today, Chef Louie is going to show us some things that we can do with children, some kids recipes. What do you got for us?
Well, I'm not going to bake kids or nothing, but
that's good.
what I do is let me put it this way. Maybe you're at home and your mom's watching over you, but she's got a headache, so she's taking some time out. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe your dad is watching you and he's watching a football game, or he's conked out on the sofa. He's sawing wood on the sofa. So you're hungry and you want something to eat. Obviously, you don't want to cook. That's dangerous. Okay, if you're under 10 years old, you want to stay away from the oven, and you don't want to use any sharp knives. Okay. So what we're going to be using here today to do is a peanut butter knife. That's what I call this, a peanut butter knife. It's rounded at the end, so it's not going to hurt you unless you're waving it around like I am. And then, you can put one out. You can put an eye out. So be careful. There is another knife that's rounder that's called a butter knife, but I call this a peanut butter knife. So, and I'm working on my counter here on a piece of paper towel. That's the best thing for kids to work on. You don't drop a plate or something on the floor and break it. So, and what we're going to do is very, very simple. And again, this is just a kid's recipe. We're going to make crackers with peanut butter and jelly. Okay? Very simple. Now, I've already opened up the top of my bag of crackers. You want to be careful when you open up a bag of crackers because, if you open it too fast, you got crackers everywhere, and cracker crumbs all over the place. So you don't want to do it. So you want to be very careful how you tear that seal right there. So, okay. So we pull out some crackers. Oh, look, one of these crackers is crumbling already. So, I'll put that one aside. So, okay. So, a lot of people like smooth peanut butter. I'm sorry, that was the crunchy peanut butter. This is the smooth peanut butter. I'm a little nervous. Just like Bob. Bob was a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. Okay, so got a cracker here. Very simple. Take the peanut butter, and we're going to put a nice dollop of peanut butter, about that big right there, and put it on the cracker. Okay, we're going to put that right on the cracker there. Smooth it out so it looks nice and good, nice and even on the cracker. Okay, now I have got to either use another knife or I got to wipe this one off, which I did. And now I'm going to put a little jelly. I'm using strawberry jelly. Grape jelly is good too. Grape jelly is a perfect mix with peanut butter. But you know, it's like a perfect mix. But the problem is you know, I had some grape jelly here, but the expiration date was very, very close, so I didn't want to take a chance with it. So, and then you put another one on top of like a sandwich. See, and you got a sandwich there. So now, that's a sandwich. But I like crunchy peanut butter. So when you're doing crunchy peanut butter, like me, it's very hard to make a sandwich. It's very hard to put the other one, you know, the other cracker down on top of it. So I like what's called an open face cracker. Open face. So you put the crunchy peanut butter on there. And let me show you a little variation here. Yeah. I got me a box of raisins. You know, most families have boxes of raisins if they got kids, you know, lying around. You open up a box of raisins, very simple. Take a few raisins and put it right on top of the crunchy peanut butter there.
Look at that.
It's a masterpiece. That's what you do. Take one of your mom and dad, make some for them too. Say, hey, Mom, look what I made for you. It's a masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
So there you go, kids. And just remember, don't whistle when you got a mouthful of crackers. That's silly.
Yeah.
That's just silly. So if you got kids, show them this video. Sorry, I just swallowed that. So they can make stuff at home when you're sleeping or when you're taking some time out. And they don't have to like start an oven, or they don't have to poke their eye out with a sharp knife or something. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. Perfect.
That's what Chef Louis is all about.
There we go. Awesome. Thank you.
It's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. Thank you, Chef Louis. And now we're going to go to Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Can't hear you either. There we go.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm just stuffing my face with the lumpia I made earlier today on Bitchin' in Ruby's Kitchen.
Awesome. Heck yeah.
I just checked my Thanksgiving side, which you have to cook all the way because it has eggs in it. And it looks like it's almost there. So maybe by the time I get done explaining to you how to make it, it'll be done. Yeah. I can't really hold a candle to Bob's eating deer and shit, but I can make cornbread, but it's not the kind of cornbread you're thinking, like a traditional dry cornbread. It's a spoon bread, and it's like one of our family's traditional sides every Thanksgiving. Sometimes on Christmas because it's easy, but pardon. It's something I always fucking forget to the last minute. And it's something that takes a long time to cook if you cook it in a casserole dish because it's almost like a souffle type thing. You've got to give it time, but never fail. I always forget until the last fucking minute to throw the shit together. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to throw together. You just need a can of cream corn. Okay. Mm-hmm. Drain a can of regular corn. 3 of these boxes of Jiffy cornbread mix. This is the honey kind.
Nice.
A thing of sour cream, a melted stick of butter, and 2 eggs. Okay? You mix all that shit together, and you're going to get a big old sloppy bowl of shit like this. Now, I don't want to have to make this again for Thanksgiving. So just by inviting me on this show, you have eliminated Thanksgiving stress for me. I'm going to put this into a casserole dish. I'm going to stick it in the back of my fridge, and it's going to hold off until Thursday.
Nice.
Then
Heck
I'll
yeah.
So fuck yeah. Isn't that amazing? I know.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I fucking forgot the cheese. I
Uh-oh.
put in like about a half a cup of shredded cheddar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I forgot the cheese. I'm sorry. How could I forget the fucking cheese? The cheese never
Hey,
forgets us. It
You
stays
can
with us
toss it
forever.
in right now.
The cheese. You're a wine guy. Do you like cheese?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Cheese and wine are perfect together.
I don't
You gotta
know.
have cheese and wine.
Yeah, well, I can't believe I forgot the cheese. All right, so let me see what I got here. Let me see if one of these is maybe ready enough. Ooh, actually, I am kind of impressed. We're gonna give it. Let's see. I'm like, let's see. It's a little loose in the middle, but no, these are good. These are good. Here's one that's like, so we can see what they look like, right?
Ooh.
Oh my God. See, sometimes I show up in the nick of time and I still figure it out. That's my chaotic life. But so this is what it is, okay? It's like a soft cornbread souffle. It's sweet because it's been made
Amazing.
with like a honey cornbread. I did these little ramen, but normally I do it like at 350 for like an hour in like a round dish, But let me get a spoon. It's piping hot. And these ramekins, it took me about 20. Yeah, it's perfect. You just want it to be a little dry in the middle, But look at this. Look at that. Let's see if I can get
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
I know, right? And so this is just a perfect little sweet side. It's kind of savory. It's kind of sweet. It's got corn. People like corn. That internet kid went famous because he fucking loves corn and shit. And corn, Yeah. So it's spoon bread is another thing to call it, right? But I don't want to wait for the whole thing to. It's perfect. It's buttery.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Easy as fuck. Easy as fuck. I'll post a recipe on your page.
Heck yeah, thanks. All right. So now we've got another word from our sponsors. And now we're just going to hang out. Now I'm going to bring everybody back, except I don't think Chef Louis was able to stick around. He had other obligations. So it'll just be Bob and Ruby. So can I hear? Hey, Bob, you got to turn you're muted. There we go.
We're all doing it tonight.
I'm kidding.
No. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, so Bob, can
Yes.
you tell us with your ties with the Thanksgiving story?
Oh yeah. So most everybody, I'm sure everybody, is aware of the Mayflower, and I wanted to give a little personal history. I'm actually related direct descendant of John Alden and Priscilla Mullins, who became kind of famous because they were the first marriage from the travelers and from the settlers. But there's a little story behind it, and it involves another gentleman named Mal Standish, who was a leader he was actually commissioned as a military man to travel with the colonists to protect them. But he chose to stay over the winter And that first winter, there was a loss of nearly half. There were 102 original colonists, and estimated that 45 died the first year. So, excuse me, I'm burping because I just ate this enormously great meal. So in those losses, Priscilla Mullins lost her father, her stepmother, and her brother, which is basically her entire family. And Miles Standish lost his wife. So Miles Standish and John Alden were friends, and Miles was a military guy, but he didn't know much of the ways of the heart. So he asked his friend John Alden to represent him to Priscilla, to give his best story to her, to convince her to be his new wife. He didn't realize, but John already had fancies for Priscilla, but they were friends, so he devotedly did what Miles Standish asked him to do. And so he went to Priscilla. I'm going to abbreviate all of this. And he gave his best shot for his friend. And then her response was, well, one line, which became famous. She said, "Speak for yourself, John." So what that really put him in a position where he had to go ahead and tell her, "Yeah, babe, you and me all the way," So there, I wouldn't be here had this not happened. So,
Oh wow!
It's also that this story is famous because Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, who's also a descendant of John Alden and Priscilla, 100 years later wrote the courtship of Miles Standish. So it's an interesting kind of lengthy poem, but it can give you a better story. And of course, all of this is kind of laced in romance, and I'm not offering a factual story, but I thought I'd share it with you guys.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Ooh,
Heck yeah.
excuse me. I burped. Sorry.
Okay. So I've got a few questions here to vote on. We might have to bring Renee in here to help vote. There we go. Pumpkin pie or apple pie or no pie?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin, all the way.
Ruby says apple. Okay. Turkey or no turkey?
Turkey.
I could live without it, but I'll take it.
Only white meat.
I like the dark, so good, Ruby. Here you go.
There we go. Okay. Red wine or white?
I'm allergic.
I'm not allergic, but I can't drink it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like both. I like
seltzer
both.
water.
I like both, but of course I like the red.
Yes, if I could drink it, that's what I would drink.
Yeah. Okay, here's a controversial one. Fruitcake, yes or no?
No.
No.
Okay, so what I've realized growing up in a family of 6 kids, that there were lean times, not because there wasn't money, but mom and dad were working their asses off to bring enough in. So sometimes that block of fruitcake, that was it. That was like, oh my gosh, I got something to eat.
Now I feel like a dick.
Yeah. Okay, so what about when you get together with everybody and all the long distance relatives are all together, grandma's there, the aunts and uncles are all there, cousins, and then somebody comes by with a video camera because there's one cousin or aunt that is clear across the country and couldn't show up. So she's going to make a video. So everybody's going to say something to that relative. What do you think of that video? You guys do that tradition at your house? Does that happen?
We have. I mean, more like just go ahead and Zoom. We'll Zoom with people, but
Yeah.
And back in the 80s, there was the VCR. And so my kids indulged in that high-tech technology.
Mm-hmm. We always had somebody that would walk around and videotape the whole thing. On one side, it was just videotaping it for us, and then on the other side of the family, it was always making a video for so and so who was in another state.
Yeah.
We face everybody now who's out of state. Everybody's out of state. We're the only ones left here. And there'll be 4 of us for Thanksgiving. But in the past, I want to say that like my husband's family was big on like the big shoulder like camcorder thing, so taking video. I'm pretty sure that there's some kind of combined DVD that's been, that was transferred from all those little tapes. So they used to do that because they have a large family. Now we'll just FaceTime. Thank God for the internet. How about that? What a time to be alive.
Yeah, it really, life right now compared to 20 years ago is completely different. Never would have saw any of this coming. Here we are doing a late night talk show on the internet.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, I used to talk to my junior high sweetheart on this phone, and I would sit in the winter, I would sit on the dryer, and the phone line just barely was long enough for me to actually sit on the dryer. And now I have this whole massive computer in my hand. It's annoyingly amazing. I mean,
So, funny Thanksgiving stories. Who's got them? What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you at Thanksgiving?
Oh, I can start it. So my family, and you all probably seen pictures, or you've actually been to my bed and breakfast, and so that main room is right beside the kitchen, and the kitchen area is huge too. So we would all get together, and in our family there might be 5 dogs, and everybody's kind of responsible for taking care of your dog. So we were all gathered in the living room and talking over this, here we are, kind of like a pre-blessing talk about Thanksgiving. And we heard a pan fall in the kitchen. And so somebody goes running, and it was my dog. It was my dog, Mary, who had pulled the ham down off the counter and was going at it. And of course, it was up to me to discipline her and to carve off whatever ham we could salvage. So I took care of it. I came back in the living room, and I looked at everybody. This became this family line. I just looked at everybody. I said, I explained to Mary what she did wrong. And so it's not that funny, but it was, and it wasn't funny at all when it happened.
Right.
I don't know I don't think I have ones that my family would appreciate me telling. We've had Thanksgivings end with police members taking family members away.
Oh.
So that side of town.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Bob,
Yeah. That was going to be one of my next questions in a little bit, was how do you handle when guests start arguing?
Yeah.
Call the cops. No.
Call the cops.
Yeah. Well, I mean, traditionally people do tend to avoid talking politics at Thanksgiving, but nonetheless, there's that one obnoxious loudmouth, probably me when I was younger, who would bring up something. And although it never happened at Thanksgiving, there came a point when my father and I decided that we wanted a friendship and not political rivalry. So we just decided to not talk politics. And, and so I'm sure that resolved a lot of issues prior to me being a smart mouth to him a couple of times and being condescending and lacking in the real understanding of the whole picture. I would just say, how could you all do this to his generation? And it's funny because I hear the same thing from the younger generations now. You bunch of boomers, look what you've done. So that generational transition, for me, the wisdom has come in my age to understand that they did what they could do, and I did what I can do, and my kids are going to do the same. Hopefully they'll do a better job than I did.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
that's all we can. That's what life's about, right there. Yeah. To try and debate politics peacefully. That's the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that struggle within my family sometimes, and we've gone big chunks of time without talking to each other, and then finally we ended up coming back together and talking to each other again, and realized it was stupid that we weren't talking, but at the same time we kind of needed that time to kind of cool down, I guess, and time kind of fixed the problem, I guess. So, but yeah, that's the issue anymore is politics. That's everybody wants to talk about it. It's the thing on everybody's mind.
No. Have you guys ever had like a Friendsgiving? Like when your family's not around, you just get together with all your friends that are kind of stuck in town with no family?
We had one when I first moved into this apartment. I got all these boxes around me because I'm moving out of this apartment finally. When we moved into this apartment, the people that were living above us at that time were great people at that time. And we invited them down, and we had like a Friendsgiving kind of a thing down here. That was a good time.
Nice. Yeah, I have good memories of Friendsgivings from the past. Lots of dancing, lots of eating, cooking.
Heck yeah.
Now I just cook it all, but I don't mind because it's one of my joys as a mother and a caregiver. I make the meal. I make enough food for easily 15 people. Even though this year I pledged to do, you saw my little ramekin dishes. I pledged to do all the little sides and those, and just.
Well, I still have some of your bow tie frozen bow tie pasta with that ridiculously good sauce. Oh my gosh, the sauce is so good. I don't have to fix any pasta. Yeah, I froze several plates full of it. We put the sauce in with it and then freeze it. But,
oh, good.
Yeah, I love to. I mean, I can't cook a small amount very very well, so I end up doing that and just making meals that I can thaw out.
Yeah.
Eat later.
That's normal.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Renee, what kind of dishes do you eat for Thanksgiving? What are some of your favorite things?
Well, I really look forward to the turkey and the gravy, the mashed potatoes. Don't do the cranberry sauce. I don't understand it. Everyone else does. I've never even tasted it. I'm afraid of it. I don't know why it's shaped like the can. It's creepy, but and then pumpkin pie is my thing with whip and ready whip is like awesome. So that so good. But if someone could tell me about the cranberry, I mean, I'm willing to try it, but this looks really creepy.
Yeah, it's like a Jello-ified version of cranberry. I like it a lot. Oh, it's like I don't like it a lot, but
you got to eat it with meat.
Do people outside of the holiday, like that's another thing that creeps me out? Like if it's so good, why aren't people eating it year round? Like
I do.
You do? Are you serious? I'm gonna try
like poultry or. But I like the whole bean stuff, and I will make my own at the holidays when you can find cranberries in the stores. It's so simple.
I'm going to buy a fucking thing of it and then do a live stream with like a taste test.
Do it. And like eat it with like a little bite of turkey and some gravy and stuffing.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Yeah, with the potatoes and everything.
Okay.
Eat it with
Oh yeah, and stuffing. I love stuffing.
Mm-hmm. Some people are particular about the kind of cranberry sauce they get. Like some people really like the chunky kind that's got whole cranberries in it. Personally, I like the kind that's more of just like a Jello. Like it's just plain. There's not really any berries in it. I don't know.
Well, I really use
varieties. Wow.
I'm sorry.
I do wear varieties. This is like so amazing. Okay.
Well, yeah, for the sweet, I wanted to mention one thing about the cranberry. So I get like maybe a tablespoon on my plate with all this, stuffing and rice or potatoes and all this stuff. And my last spoonful I like to mix in the last bit of all those foods. I like to use the cranberry, just mixing it all together. And it's kind of I don't know. I don't know why, but I like the sweetness of it in contrast to all of those savory flavors.
Yeah.
So that's what I use it for. But in terms of, and I drink cranberry juice. Now it's pretty rough. I mean, especially the pure stuff. It's like, wow. But if I put a little bit in my smoothie, and I don't even notice it. So it's one of these very medicinally healthy fruits, along with elderberry. And I drink quite a bit of both of those.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like with wine. I always tell people that you want to drink wine. I mean, you can drink it for all kinds of reasons, but drink it when you're having a meal. Drink it with dinner. That's the best way to have it, because you drink it, you pair it with a good meal, and it changes the taste of the wine. And a really good wine will taste awesome with the right food paired with it. And same way with the cranberry sauce too. You bring it into the meal with all the other foods, and it's the combination of everything that makes it so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got one last question for Ruby real quick.
Oh no.
So can you give us a good argument from the turkey on why we should all eat the chicken instead?
Why we should all eat chicken instead? Man,
Yeah, this is the turkey's argument. Like, pretend you're a turkey right now, and you're trying to convince the rest of us.
No, turkey. I'm majestic. You got thousands of little fucking motherfuckers running around the planet eating each other's shit. You better eat them up so they don't keep getting farmed into big old fucking houses, eating each other's shit. They don't got no fucking beaks. They take off their feet and shit. They fuck with them. Eat them. They just let them die. Fucking let them out of misery. Eat them. Eat them. Don't eat me. Look at me. I'm majestic. I got this big tail. I'll shake it. You don't want me. You don't want me. But to eat those little fucking little rats with white feathers. Eat them. Put them out of their misery. They're suffering. They're suffering. They're suffering. And the smell. You ever smell the chicken pen? What the fuck? Out of their misery. It's awful. Fuck me. Let us look at me and my friends are gonna come by and eat your corn every day about 7. That's what the turkeys do.
Oh boy. Okay.
All
right. Thank you so much, Ruby. That was great. We've got one more commercial coming up, and then we're gonna have a performance from Bob. Here's one commercial.
Yeah, Bob. Cheers.
Cosmos Creative Television presents General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on Cosmos Creative Television, Facebook, and YouTube.
So now we're going to have a performance from Bob Ross.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to play a song. I was strumming around with it earlier. I didn't really have a specific person in mind when I wrote it. And I've just realized just recently that this song is about my mom. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to play some harmonica with this too. So. By the way, Jay, thank you so much for having me as a guest. I've had a blast. I just love Ruby. I got the opportunity to hang out with Ruby. She came down to Athens a few weeks ago, and we had a great party with a bunch of other friends from Atlanta and Athens here. And yeah, I can't wait to see her again. I miss her. And I can't wait to meet you too, Jay and Renee. And thank you, Renee. You're just amazing at doing this. her eyes glancing at me, all the love I can see in her eyes. Her words speaking to me, all the truth I can hear in her words. Her arms reaching for me, all the warmth I can feel in her arms. I am remembering something I've seen, might be reality, it might be a dream. I was rehearsing this earlier today, and I was thinking about my mom. I miss her so much. There's so many times, even though, I'm a full grown man now, I just want to cry on her shoulder. If you guys still have your mom with you, just fully embrace her. And your dad too. I miss the hell out of my dad. Okay.
Thank you so much, Bob. That was awesome. I can definitely relate to that song. I miss my dad very much. Thank you for that. So thank you, everybody, for coming out to Cloud 9.5. Had a good time. Come on over, say hi. Say hi to Oliver. He wanted to say hi. Except we can't see your face. There he is. Okay. All right. Make sure you check out all the rest of the shows on Cosmos coming up. And make sure you check us out in 2 weeks. We're going to be back here at 5 o'clock. And I'll have Olive Chiachia on here. And maybe a couple other guests. And that's going to be the Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention episode. So that's going to be a good episode. Make sure you tune in. I will see you guys then.